So I bought these pair of Crocs to check out. It's the Echo Slide Storm, and in typical Crocs fashion, most of the time anyway, from what the pairs that I've ordered, and they tend to come in these kind of bags. And this is the Storm colorway, which is like a kind of like a dark blue, I suppose, what Apple call a midnight kind of color. And I wanted to sort of always check these out, and they were on sale. I think I got them for like £30, which is pretty reasonable in my opinion. And obviously I'm sort of looking for something that can compete with a Yeezy slide. And this one is like the looks are, I think, sort of a bit polarizing, like with all sort of Crocs footwear. And it is made up of a similar thing to other Crocs, like the other Echo products, and like the Clogs, for example. And it uses a sort of light ride technology in there, and the chunky sort of midsole area and the shape of the slide itself does look like kind of not like a Yeezy slide, but it has that sort of chunky aesthetic to it. And then you get what they have is an insole that's provided, and this is quite soft to the touch. It has a lot of give to it. I wouldn't say as much as a Yeezy slide. That's something different, but it's still comfortable on foot. Don't get me wrong. What I don't enjoy so much, I don't know why, but on this particular slide, I didn't feel it as much in the Clogs. But I don't like this pattern that's on the insole. It feels very sort of rough, and also you can feel that on feet as well. And sometimes that's quite nice because it kind of gives you that sort of massagey sort of feel. But I don't know for this one, I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's the same, but it just feels a lot more, aggravating on foot. But I do like the design, and I like the fact you can put sort of gibbets on here as well. So you can sort of personalise it to your own taste, and it just has that sort of standard sort of Croc sort of factor to it. And I think the outsole is not the greatest. It's quite sort of, to me, it feels slippery. It doesn't feel like that on foot. It feels quite stable on foot, I will say that. But just like feeling it like this, there isn't much sort of grip to it. And I don't know how long that lasts really. But usually I found wearing the Salehi Banbury Crocs, they seem to be sort of quite hard wearing and quite sort of durable. So I imagine this material that they're using here is probably the same sort of thing. But still, not too bad. So here are the details for the Crocs Echo Slide Storm Blue. It comes in a Storm Blue colourway, and this has a cross-light insole, and basically provides a lot of the comfortability in there, and feels quite sort of chunky on foot. And it's also made of light ride foam material, which is supposed to be sort of very lightweight. And it's all sort of synthetic materials that it's made out of. And the price was £45. So with the comfort and sizing, these are on the medium side in my opinion, and they do have a little bit of give to them. But compared to some of the other Echo line, such as the Storms, I think these are don't have as much give. But I'm sure they're using the same insole, so I think it just means the material around it and how that's sort of constructed around the insole itself, that provides that bit more softness on foot. And these also have really good arch support in my opinion as well, so they're quite sort of contoured to your foot. And again, there's no sort of wearing time with these. They're kind of good to go out of the box in my opinion. Obviously the more you wear them, the more they feel more comfortable and sort of almost sort of mould to your foot. And I would go true to size on these. Reason being is, I think even though lengthwise you could go down a full size, I think it's more the strap itself, the cross strap over your forefoot, that seems to be sort of tight. I went a size down in this because I'm thinking they would be big. For me, it's one of those ones where I should have went true to size on it, and because I have a wide foot. I think if you don't have a wide foot, you potentially could go down a full size, but I would still recommend just going with your true to size anyway, because just in case you want to wear your socks with your slides, that you can do that and have that bit of extra space. And similar to the other sort of Echo line really, these have sort of average grip in my opinion. It's got quite a sort of curvy sort of bottom to it. I'm sure that durability wise it would last, but I'm just not sure how whether it will stay sort of that grippy on the streets. In my opinion, the foam runners have a better grip because they have like a really sort of flat base. So with the look and style, the chunky slide is one of those ones where it was, you know, the Yeezy slide kind of pretty much introduced that. I'm sure there was other slides before that, but that was probably the one that was most popular. And this one takes a sort of its own take on that and provides a sort of unique design, I suppose. And I also like the fact that it has sort of ventilation holes throughout it, so which is something the Yeezy slide doesn't have. I mean, most of it is ventilated anyway, i.e., you know, it's a slide at the end of the day, but it's quite nice that there's sort of holes up on the forefoot strap, and just sort of provides an extra bit of ventilation. And because it's a slide at the end of the day, it's a good one for sort of spring, summertime. And this one, they say, is also sort of waterproof, so it's good to wear around the pool area, which you can't do with the Yeezy slide in my opinion. And these ones, I think you can dress up casual and also smart casual, because of the fact that it's got quite a sort of unique look to it, but also at the same time, I think with slides nowadays you can sort of dress them up a little bit as well, depending on which ones, and some are dressed quite sort of smarter. And I like the fact that you can go laceless with these. So with the final thoughts, I like the chunky slide aesthetic of this. It just gives that extra bit of comfort, and also, you know, the insole itself makes it a bit nicer to wear, and like I say, the infused midsole on there just provides extra bit of comfort, and it's quite nice. And also it has the ability to add gibbets on there as well, which is not something that's sort of seen on some of the Crocs models, and it's a cool feature, because obviously if you want to personalize it, or if you have a, you know, younger kid, for example, they can kind of personalize it and just buy extra bits, you know, to put on their slides. And also they label them as water friendly. I haven't tried them in water, but I can sort of see that the material would sort of hold up well and won't sort of slip around, in my opinion, especially at the, you know, in the insole itself. With the cons, I think the comfort, I think it's not as nice as a Yeezy slide, in my opinion. So with the ratings, I give the look and style for this a 4 out of 5. I think it's a cool looking slide, and if Yeezy slides didn't exist for me, because that seems to be the pinnacle for me, I think this is near enough a good runners up prize, because of the fact that it's got a good comfortability as well. So it's not, again, as nice as a Yeezy slide, but it gets quite close, in my opinion. And I think with this one, and then there's also another Crocs slide that's also available, that those are sort of two comparable models to a Yeezy slide. And the quality, I'd give that a 5 as well. It's one of those ones where the price that you're paying is very, very low compared to, say, a Yeezy slide. A Yeezy slide sort of retails at sort of £55-60, and with this one it's more sort of at £35-40. And this model, you know, I got it on sale, so I think the pricing is really good on that. You know, it's not like the best. I still think it could be lower, but, you know, it's still great. And overall, I give the score a 4 out of 5. It's a cool slide, and like I said, it's a runners up to a Yeezy slide, and probably the closest that I've found to a Yeezy slide, in my opinion. And like I said, you know, if you're not a fan of Yeezy products in general, or you don't like the slides, and give the Echo slide a try.